want to talk about this windshield wiper for a Journey 2012, and this goes on to the back window. And so this is the original, and to take it off, you unclip these two clips here, and then there's a bolt on here. I actually had to use a bolt puller, or not a bolt puller, but I need to use a gear puller sort of a thing to put underneath there and pull it out. It's metal, but it's it's all corroded here, so over the years I guess it just completely got stuck. So I was finally able to get it out. Just it made it easier for me to work with it. So this is the unit here. The problem is that this is only a 12-inch unit, and they make a 14-inch unit, but I wasn't able to find one in my area. And to take this apart is there's a little clip here that pushes out, and as you can see, this little clip there. And to put it on, you put it at this really steep angle, and then you push it in, and it pops in, and then the pressure on it holds it in place. So what I wanted to do is I want to replace this unit, and I wanted to see if I could come up with a 14-inch one. 12-inch is just too small, and all the newer Journeys and whatever vehicles that this is used on uses a 14-inch, and it's just a better fit. So I came across this. This is a Canadian Tire, and this is a 14-inch universal unit. And what can be done here is it comes with a variety of clips that would fit on here to augment whatever vehicle that you're going to replace it with. So what I ended up doing is I created a clip so that I could do the same thing. Now, this is the final clip, and it has a pin that will go in. There's a hole in the pin here, and when it goes in, there is a small other pin that will pop in here, and it'll hold it in place. So this reason I did it this way is because I found that after all, trying to get it in there, I was having a problem with it, and I wanted to remove it. I didn't want to push this too hard because I was afraid at some point in time, especially if it's in wintertime or something, you had to replace it, it might actually maybe possibly break. There's not a whole lot of play there, and I didn't want to have. So here's the pin, and I made it. So there's the pin. I made it so that it will sit on the ridges once the pin is inside, and it'll be easy to remove. So once it's all ready to go, you mount this back on into the vehicle, put this in like this, pop your thing in like that, you put your pin in, push it push the pin all the way in, and this is very strong, and it won't come out. This pin also acts as a secondary function to actually make this, just in case. You can see this is a very hard to take out once you put it in. Take a screwdriver. Excuse me for a second. Take a screwdriver or something to pull it out.
this also acts as a holder to keep this together in one piece, just in case for some reason this starts to let go. I doubt it, but you never know. So that's the reason I did this in two pieces, so that it becomes one whole unit with everything put together. It will be very strong. This won't come off or come apart, and it should last for a very long time. If you ever have to replace this, we'll be able to just pop this off, put a new one in, and keep the original parts together, and be very good. Now, it took me a lot of different measurements to actually get this to be just right. I did probably 10-15 versions of this. The hardest part was to get the right dimensions just to fit into that slot, and that was the biggest problem, is to get the part so that it would snap into place and be just as strong as the original. Hence, by printing it the right way, you get a lot of strength, because these pins are very small. So this piece here, when it goes in, it snaps into place very nicely. Where I had some problems was the dimensions. Eventually what I did do was I scanned one of the original parts that came with it.
This is the spare part. So it came with a variety of different parts. This goes in. Nice snap. Take it out, you do the same thing. So what I did do, I took a photograph of this in this way. I put it through, measured the exact distance, and I converted that so that the image was a true relationship to what the measurements was. So I measured this with a caliper, the exact dimensions, and then I created the picture because it was set up to a 1-to-1 ratio. I set it up so that when you open it up in the CAD software, it would show up as the exact dimensions, and then I was able to trace the parts in, because I had tried a variety of different ways of getting it, and these are some of my these are some of the various parts that I did. As you can see, they're numbered. This is I did all this in PLA first, so I could try to get some results to see how it would fit. And what would happen is eventually I would get them to work. As you can see, this was slightly off. It wouldn't quite fit on there. There was a variety of different things that you had to end up doing to get a proper fit. It took this many iterations to actually get it to right. I also tried it in, this here is in ASA. Does a nicer job of it, but I didn't have any black. So this one was printed this way and it didn't turn out very good. I was really disappointed at how this turned out this way. All of these were printed some of these were printed, this would have been printed this way. The ones that didn't break were most likely printed this way. Eventually, then I went to PETG. I also tested, I wanted to see how the glue would work, and this is fused, as you can see. I tested this stuff here, and it literally fuses it together. The other reason that you can't print it this way is just because you can see here how it actually broke off here. It's not very strong at all this way. All the fibers are going in one way, just kind of like wood. If you have wood, the grain is going one direction, very weak, it goes the other direction, very strong. And so this is why this would never work. And so no matter what I tried, whenever I printed it flat down, the parts would break off. As you can see here, parts were breaking off. It's very strong this way, but unfortunately it's not. So the end result was to actually do it in 2 pieces. And by doing it in 2 pieces, you get the best of both worlds. It's very strong. And once you fuse them together, they act as one unit. The problem was with the pin. You put the pin like this one here. I actually had to file them down here a little bit to get them to fit. But if you do it this way, the print will print this way, and this would not be very strong at all. And so it would look okay, but it just wouldn't be very strong. So the alternative is to have them this way, print the pins this way, and have some method of attaching it. And I came up with this cotter pin type of a thing, and it works. I printed this at, these are printed at 0.16 on a Creality K1 Max. The fact that you're printing it this way and you're trying to print a circle, it's not ideal, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to work. It'll be practical and it's going to work. And that was the whole thing. As you can see, a whole bunch of different parts came in. All like this. So I'm actually quite happy with the end result. We'll put it on, test it out, and see how it works. Well, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. So what do you think? Let me know with a comment below. If you appreciate this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe for more like this. I will see you next time.